Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, let me introduce myself. My name is Lailaturrahmi and I come from class 3C. And now I will explain to you about the manners of articulation. Happy watching! Phonological manner of articulation. Manner of articulation. The manner of articulation of a sound is how the S stream is affected as this goes through your vocal tract. Essentially, the manner of articulation describes how air is modified to create different speech sounds. And here, type of manner articulation. First, plosive. Plosives are sounds in which the air is blocked at the place of articulations. When you produce a plosive, air pressure builds up and then suddenly release. In bilabial plosive such as a P or B, the air pressure builds up behind the lips, the place of articulation. However, in an alveolar plosive T or D, the air doesn't get stopped behind the lips. Instead, it gets stopped further back in the mouth, behind the alveolar ridge. And next, nasal. In a nasal sound, the airflow comes out of your nose. Take the poem for example. Try and say Here your lips are together and the airstream is coming out of your nose. You can even try pitching your nose. When you do, you'll discover that the airstream can escape and you aren't able to make a sound. Trill. A trill is when the active articulator hits or taps a passive articulator many times in quick succession. English doesn't have any trill sounds, but if you heard a Spanish speaker speak before, you've probably heard a trill. This is often called a rolled R, and you can hear it in the word cover. Here's an example of a rolled R. And next, tap or flap. The term tap or flap is often used interchangeably, but there are some scholars who argue that the term should be used to refer to different sounds. That is a discussion that is beyond the scope of this article. We will use the word tap. And 5. Fricative. When making a fricative sound, you partially block the airflow and force the airstream to escape at a constant pace. A great to remember what a fricative is to think about how the sound is modified by continuous friction. And 6. Affricate. Why are the affricate on the EPA chart? An affricate is really just a stop and their affricate is quite succession. You can remember what an affricate is by looking a DE in the word taking a stop and looking at the rest of the word fricates as being similar to fricative. And 7. Approximant. In approximant, articulators get close together, but not close enough to create friction. One way to remember this is that articulators in approximant approximately get close together. Take the phoneme G for example. This is actually the Y sound in the word yellow. EPA just use a G to denote the Y sound. If you say the G sound like in the word chew, you will notice that the tongue comes close to touching the top of your mouth, but it doesn't quite touch. And then the last one is lateral approximant. A lateral approximant is often just called a lateral. Here, the airflow pace of both sides of the tongue. You can remember this by knowing that the term lateral can often be used to mean sides. So, lateral has the airflow that passes laterally. Also, the only lateral phoneme in English is the phoneme A, which is the first sound is the word lateral. Okay, that's all about my explanation. Thank you for watching